Hi guys, how we doing? Welcome to the High Road Brewery, where this month I am brewing a West Coast Pale Ale. Now this is a recipe that I got off BrewTube, the Facebook group online, and it was shared just I think during the summer, and it was a whole stack of recipes that came from Australia. One of the homebrew shops I think shared it. There was a whole stack of them. And this one took my interest, so I've ran it into Beersmith and I've had a look and tweaked it a bit and made it mine. But what I really liked about it was I've not done a West Coast in a wee while now, and I want something that's got that kind of piney, bold flavour for my beer. So I've just opened up Beersmith recipes. The plan is I'm going to use Golden Promise, Munich malt, and caramel malt, and then the hops that I'm using for the brew is Magnum for the bittering, and then Centennial, Citra and Mosaic are going to be the kind of key hops for the kind of the kind of end of the boil, and then the dry hop as well. That's going to be good. Now there's two key things this brew that will be different to all other brews I've done, and the plan is to use Kveik, Voss Kveik, so it's the Amiga yeasts that I'm using, so it'll be my first ever Kveik ferment, so really interesting to see how that does and how quickly it goes. And I think that'll probably be fermented at the high 28s or so. And then the other thing is the yeast brink. Now I've used it to harvest yeast, but I've not tried it to dry hop with. So the plan with that is to reduce the oxygen in the beer that everyone's going on about during dry hop. So I'll try that and put it into the beer through the bottom, and we'll see how that goes as well. Okay, so hopefully that's a wee bit of something a bit different for you that you haven't seen before. Alright, so enjoy the video and I'll catch you at the end. Right, cheers. Hey, how we doing guys? That's the fermentation now complete, and the Kveik has been interesting. I've compared it to my Conan strain, which hopefully I can put a graph up for you guys so you can see. I did have a little mishap with the Kveik, and that was that the fridge door opened up somehow overnight, so it dropped from about 28 degrees right down to 20. But luckily I'm monitoring it all on the tilt, and so I was able to identify that straight away first thing in the morning. I was able to come out and get the fridge door closed and sealed, and yeah, put another heater in. I only had the one going at the time, so I put the second heater in to get it back up. Then the fermentation dropped quite happily. It was done in just over 3 days, which is great, obviously. It's good. But the Conan, what I found is it does the exact same thing, if not quicker, and it does it at 18, 19 degrees. So it'll be interesting to see how this one tastes, which we'll look at the end of the video. But just now, the next step is to look at to take the yeast off, and then we're going to do the oxygenless dry hop from the bottom, hopefully. So yeah, hope you enjoy this bit, and we'll see what we can learn from it. All right. Very good. If I then fill it from the bottom, well, we'll know for next time. If I just start taking this up. We just need to leave that to soak, and then we should be able to push them up later. Right. Not a hope. Is this stuff even gonna... Bullshit. That's proper blocked. That is not for moving, I'll tell you. Check the neck of that. Solid. That's going nowhere. You know what's going to happen here? I'm just going to lift this lid and just toss that in. As you can see from that, that was an absolute disaster. It just seems like this yeast brink can't handle the amount of hops that went into it. So I don't know, it was 26, 80 85, 90 grams of hops. Just couldn't deal with it. It just swallow up and then just get stuck. It's not as advertised when you watch the NorCal video online. They've got a mason jar thing, they're showing it. This is advertised as, you know, oxygenless dry hopping. It's just not. It's just not designed for the hop swelling up. There's so little room in there with the sight glass. There's just so little room. It just doesn't work. There's just no way. The yeast brink's good at doing what it's named for, getting yeast out of the tank. And also the thing I like about it is being able to have put a CO2 from the bottom and up, so you can stir the yeast back into suspension. So if you're having poor kind of finishing, or you want to really drive the yeast at the end, then you can push it back up into suspension, which I like. So it's not all bad, but one of the kind of main parts of it that was sold was being oxygen free dry hopping, which it totally isn't. I think now I wouldn't do that again, basically, and I wouldn't recommend it to anyone if that's what you're looking to do. If you're looking to capture yeast, then yeah, but there is cheaper ways of doing it. You could just buy a sight glass and just take off at the bottom with an elbow. So what this does give you is being able to have that CO2 connector at the bottom to stir things up from the base, which is cool. But yeah, it's a lot of money for what it is now. And yeah, so there you go. So we've learnt something, and I wouldn't even try again. I just would not try dry hopping with it again. I think what I'll do is just open up the top, drop the hops in, and then from the bottom I would then push CO2, so then it pushes any oxygen that got in during that moment out. Alright, next will be we'll get this kegged up and then we'll get it tasted, okay? Right, so see you there, right? Hey guys, how we doing? This is us now, back to the tasting of this West Coast IPA. I'll call it an IPA because it ended up about 6.4%, I believe. And I think it's ready for its initial test, and it'll probably develop over time, over the while, but on the initial it's got a kind of tangerine thing going on. Now I know what the tangerine flavours, because my friend Dell's done it was like a clockwork tangerine, and he put tangerine extract into the thing. Now his was crazy tangerine, like you were drinking diluting juice, which was amazing. But this, it's got that kind of same hint on the nose. It's just purely hops. But I'll go in. It's incredible, this beer, I'll tell you. It's just this lovely citrus, grapefruit and orange thing coming through, as I say earlier, with the tangerine. Now it was Voss Kveik, which does give orange on the yeast flavours, so that maybe ties up with what's going on here actually. Maybe that's where this orange is coming from. Oh, and now it's got this lovely, it's got a nice thick mouthfeel to it. Not too thick, but it's not like my previous kind of the Walter Whites and stuff, they've been quite thin because they've been a lower ABV. This definitely has that kind of slight more oily kind of thickness to it, where you can feel it on your tongue. It's nice. So yeah, absolutely delighted with this. So things to go. The Voss Kveik, this is a good beer. Really like this. It's pulling through because Centennials get the grapefruit, and so does it pulls through that nice grapefruit from the Centennial and ties up with the rest. Grapefruit and orange, nice citrus backbone to it. What's not to like about this beer, by the way? It's so good. Anyway, so if you are looking for something like this, then check out the recipe that's on the video. Give it a go yourselves. I highly recommend. Actually, this is just a lovely, nice, punching IPA. Hope you enjoyed the video and all the cinematics. Give me some comments below what you thought. It's a wee bit of a change for the channel. I thought we'd try and go all out with this video. Make a real push with the equipment that I've got. Change some of the lighting, as you see. And yeah. Cheers guys, thanks very much for watching, and if you liked it, hit that subscribe button. Alright, I don't normally ask you to subscribe, but yeah, if you really enjoyed this, then more of this style probably coming on it rather than the kind of just making it up as I go along. Alright, so cheers, speak to you later, bye.